Hi everyone, I'm Mariam Namazi. I'm speaking to you again about a wonderful conference that we're organizing during the 11th and 12th of October at a beautiful hotel in London. It's an international conference on the religious right, secularism and civil rights. And we've got over 50 fantastic speakers, and I just want to quickly tell you a little bit about each of them. Of course, you know philosopher A.C. Grayling. There's Amal Farah, who is a Somali-born spokesperson for the Council of Ex-Muslims. She left Islam and has been threatened by her family because of it. There's Amal Grami, who is a professor at a university in Tunisia, and she was on the front lines of opposing the Salafis who were trying to take over the university and impose gender segregation. You've got the wonderful topless activist from Tunisia, Amina Saboui. You've got my co-workers at Bread and Roses, Bahram Surush and Fariborz Puya. There's Benbaz Aziz, who is an Egyptian atheist who was in prison for a year in Kuwait for his atheism. There's Caroline Fouret. She's this fantastic French secularist who has challenged Tariq Ramadan and written a book about him and just, you know, laid him bare for all to see. There's Chitan Bhat, who's the director of the Center of Human Rights at LSE, and he specializes on Islamist movements. There's Chris Moose, he's a student at LSE and an activist of its atheist society, who's been harassed and even kicked out of several things as a result of wearing just a Jesus and Mo t-shirt. You've got Elham Mania, she's a Yemeni activist against in defense of women's rights and who promotes a sort of humanist Islam. You've got Faisal Saeed Al-Mutar, he's an Iraqi-born secularist and atheist. Fatou Sow, she is a Senegalese coordinator of Women Living Under Muslim Laws, which is a network that has been defending women's rights for many years. Geeta Sahgal, she is now the head of Center for Secular Space. She actually got fired from Amnesty International for criticizing their relationship with an Islamist organization. You've got Hamid Taqvai, who is the leader of the Worker Communist Party of Iran. You've got Hozan Mahmoud, who's Iraqi Kurd women's rights campaigner. Horia Mossadegh, who is a women's rights campaigner from Afghanistan, whose nose was broken by the Taliban when she merely picked up her face veil in order to look at material in a shop. There's Imad Habibuddin, who started the Council of Ex-Muslims of Morocco. Ina Shevchenko, who started and is the leader of Femen. You've got Julie Bindel, who's a women's rights campaigner and a writer. You've got Qasem El Ghazali, he's a Moroccan secularist and a blogger. You've got Karima Bennoune, who's written a book recently called Your Fatwa Does Not Apply Here, where she talks about over 300 people who are on the front lines of resisting Islamism. Keenan Malik, who is a writer and author. Kiran Opal, who started the Ex-Muslims of North America and an activist of the Council of Ex-Muslims. Leila Salim, who spent 6 years in an Islamic school in Britain, 1 year in a school in Pakistan. The one in Britain was worse. You've got LCP, which is a multimedia dance company doing a beautiful dance for us. Lila Ghabadi, who's an Iranian filmmaker whose films have been banned in Iran. Maha Kamal, who is an ex-Muslim and also was disowned by her family for leaving Islam. You've got Magdalene Abeda, she's a Libyan women's rights activist. She was kidnapped by the Islamists, and her colleague Salwa was recently assassinated in Libya by the Islamists. You've got Mariam Hele Lucas, who is an icon, a women's rights campaigner, and who is the coordinator of Secularism is a Women's Issue, myself of course. You've got Nadia El Fani, who is a Tunisian filmmaker and who's had to leave Tunisia after threats by Islamists because of her film Neither Master nor Allah. You've got Nahla Mahmoud, who is a spokesperson of the Council of Ex-Muslims and a Sudanese campaigner for equality and rights. Nina Sankari, who is the vice president of the Polish Rationalist Association. Parviz Hudbeh, he's a prominent social activist from Pakistan. Peter Tatchell, who is, you know, considered one of the national treasures in this country. Pragna Patel, who's a founding member of Southall Black Sisters. Ramin Forghani, who is the founder of the Scottish ex-Muslim group, Randa Kassis, who is a Syrian, who used to be actually a member of the Syrian National Council, but she was excluded for opposing the Islamists. Rumi Hassan, who's an academic, who's written books about multiculturalism. You've got Salil Tripathi, he's an award-winning journalist from India. Sanal Ede Morocco, who's had to leave India because of threats he's received as a result of exposing superstition, people who are promoting superstition. Shelley Segal, she's a Australian singer from Melbourne. Siba Shakib, she's an award-winning author, and she's written a book, Where God Comes to Weep, about Afghanistan. Sue Cox, who's faced abuse against Catholic clergy as a child, and who's involved now in Survivors Voice Europe. Taj Hargi, who is an imam in Britain, who's actually started a campaign to ban the burqa in this country. Tariq Fateh, who is a writer and a founder of the Canadian Muslim Council. Taslima Nasreen, a well-known Bangladeshi writer. Terry Sanderson of the National Secular Society, and Walid al-Husseini, who was in prison by the Palestinian Authority for a year for his atheism. You've also got Kate Smurthwaite, who will be doing comedy for us, and we're just going to have a wonderful, wonderful time with these speakers, music, dance, comedy, and it's going to be a historic event, so you shouldn't miss it. Get your tickets today.